Marcus, how much more of an enlightened defensive player are you now compared to this time a year ago?
I'm sorry, there's a little background noise. Could you repeat?
Yeah, I said, how much more of an enlightened defensive player are you now compared to this time a year ago? And where do you see yourself kind of fitting in this revamped sort of secondary?
Enlightened. I like that word. I've been in this program a little while, of course. And, as you practice and you go through things, you learn different defenses, different schemes. You get a great sense of football, but until you step out on that field and, really take in that game experience, it's hard to really see, where you need to improve, how you fit into the defense, what your limitations are. And so just being able to have that experience last year, as crazy as 2020 was, I'd say I'm a lot more enlightened in that sense. So just being able to take that information from last year and just craft myself into the football player I want to be this year has been great. So.
All righty, we'll go next to Jeremy Birmingham. Jeremy.
Marcus, how important has this spring been for you and Josh as sort of the old guys in the room now, with so many young guys that have not played? I mean, it seems like the story of your upcoming season almost gets written right now, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'd say, and this is a emphasis really from Coach Barnes and along with Coach Combs, is that we really wanted to, bring back that BIA mentality, that culture. And we've got so many young and inexperienced guys that even if they were here last year, you didn't have that full off season with Coach Mick, that spring ball, that, all those push-ups and sit-ups we do preparing for the Team Up North game. Like, you didn't have those experiences. And so being able to, bring that mindset to the practice field has been a benefit to me and Josh and some of the older guys and the younger guys as well, so that they can see how we do things and how we operate the right way here. And so I think that's been a big focus for us, is just mindset and culture. And I think it's translating. And I think we've seen a lot of improvement top to bottom, and it's really exciting to see. So,
thanks.
All right, we'll go next to Bill Rabinowitz from the Columbus District.
Hi, Marcus. Could you kind of compare and contrast the styles, both in style and substance, with Kerry Combs now to Matt Barnes?
Right. Actually, more similar than you'd think. I find myself sometimes watching tape and you'll see like the end zone copy, and they're both doing like the same celebration, or they're the same kind of coaching style. So you see kind of similarities in how they coach. They're very energetic and juice kind of guys, I guess we like to say around here. And I think with Coach Barnes, and he's had the time, this spring, which we of course missed last year, is to really just take the technique and the details of football specifically. When you get into, camp and the season and, just the weird year that we had last year, a lot of the focus had to be on, scheme, personnel, but now we're just really focused on becoming better football players. And I think that's really what Coach Barnes is passionate about. And it's really been shown in how we've been practicing and how we've been performing. So thanks for that.
Thank you.
All righty, next up, we'll go to Nathan Baird, Cleveland.com.
Marcus, I guess, where are you working right now? Any specific places in this defense, and any place where you kind of think that you can contribute the best to this team?
Right. So I've been focusing almost exclusively in the slot. If you watched any last year, I think my role is sort of morphed into more of a safety role last year. I've definitely been working more in the slot this year and trying to really just, hone my coverage skills as well as, the physicality aspect of football. I've taken this time during spring to, really just focus on my strength, tackling, block destruction, all the details of being a defensive player that I think we can all improve on. And so just trying to bring that physicality back to the position and coverage skills, and use my skill set to the best of my ability. So that's been my focus this spring, and hopefully moving forward towards the season and the rest of this off season. So thank you.
Next up, Austin Ward, Leonard Monroe.
Hey, Marcus, as you mentioned, you've been around a long time. You've seen some really good BIA units. And then last year, we understand the excuses of what may have made it challenging, but as a veteran and having seen both things, how much conversation is there about what happened with the pass defense and the national ranking for that last year? And
Right.
What is that like in that meeting room to try and reestablish that culture?
I can say as a program, as a defense, as a unit, and even personally, we've all, taken the approach of just getting better every single day. Some guys call it, the 1%, getting that 1% or finding that inch every day. But just really bringing that, that mindset is how we've been able to approach, not really looking back. And I can say, just as a unit, this is one of the most talented, if not the most talented defensive back unit that I've seen since I've been here. Seems like these coaches out recruit themselves every year, and it's great to see the talent, the explosion, and just the skill set that these guys have. And so, like I mentioned earlier, just trying to bring that mindset of BIA back to the room that has so much talent. I think we're definitely breeding something special, and just looking forward to 2021. 2020 was 2020, but it's the same guys in that room, and we're just improving every day, and I think it's going to show.
Alrighty, next up, Tony Gerdeman, Buckeye Scoop.
Marcus, you've got 3 quarterbacks on this team who've never thrown a pass in college ball.
Yeah.
What you've seen from them and how confident you guys are that you've got something there?
Like I mentioned about the DB room, you look at, really across the board, these coaches are recruiting their ass off, man. And so, you look over there and the way these quarterbacks sling the ball, just seeing their improvement day to day, it's really exciting. I'm sure I can't, give any specifics, but I've been really impressed, with the growth of these young guys, especially with them not having any game experience, like you said, and just taking that step every day, man. Just every day working to get better. What's today, April 1st, man. We kick off, in September. So, just taking that step, man. It's been great to see. So I'm excited for those guys to see what they do.
All righty, we'll go next to Dan Hope from 11 Warriors.
Hey, Marcus, you mentioned you're playing almost exclusively in the slot. Lathan Ransom played some there last year, too. How do you think you two can complement each other in the secondary this year?
We talk about that a lot. Lathan is a guy that came in really more ready than I've seen a lot of defensive backs. He has a very professional mindset in how he approaches the game. He's always asking questions, and we're able to bounce things off of each other. And so I'm not sure how it'll work out this season. I'm sure the coaches will have a plan, but I've really just been impressed with the steps Lathan's taken and how eager he is to just learn and get better. So like I said, it'll be up to the coaches how that works out, but his skill set is something that definitely can be used and needs to be used. So we'll see. Thanks, Dan.
All righty, next we'll go to Joey Kaufman, Columbus Dispatch.
Marcus, you said you work exclusively at the slot corner spot. There's an opening on the outside. Did you ever have discussions with coaches or talk about playing on the outside? And if not, what do you feel you kind of like best about the slot?
To answer your question directly, no, there hasn't really been any conversation. But just from a personal standpoint, I really wanted to take this spring to focus, on my man-to-man coverage and my coverage specifically. And so, a lot of drills I do slide out to the outside. And I play corner since 8th grade. It's fun being out there on that island, and getting that feeling again of really just being the man across from you. Sometimes you get in the slot, you might have help, or in the post or in the slot, but you're on the edge, it's you and that receiver, man. And so trying to bring that mindset to my man-to-man coverage and my skill set has been really beneficial, I think. And so continuing to work that skill set, even if it doesn't happen this year, maybe in the future, just having that versatility which I believe just to play all 5 positions in the defensive backfield. So yeah, it's been great for me.
All right, we'll do 2 more. We'll go to Patrick Murphy first. Patrick.
Marcus, you told us, I think it was during the playoff, that you were coming back this year. Obviously, you have things you want to accomplish. You mentioned cover skills and things like that, but what was your driving force, and how are you working to achieve what you want in this extra year you get here?
My driving force. It was actually, I was having this conversation, with myself today. I know it sounds kind of weird, but just constantly asking yourself, what's that motivation? What's that driving force? And I think in the past, really the last couple years, it was, fear of being injured. That was kind of my driving force in the off season. It's like, okay, I'm gonna put this extra time in the weight room because, I can't have another injury. I can't afford to be injured. Like my clock's ticking. And I think now it's just from a standpoint of just wanting to improve, wanting to get better. When you have that mindset of I've got this goal, X, Y, and Z, life doesn't work out that way. I'm sure every guy that steps in this program, they want to be, top 10 draft pick. They want to have all these accolades, player of the year, whatever that may be. And so for me, it's just been waking up every day and getting better. How much can I improve in this area, that area, in this area? And I think I've really just seen myself take off in the last few months since the season's ended. Just having that mindset and that approach to this year. And it's been great. And I can't wait to see the results of me doing that. So I'm glad to be back. I'm excited. I think it's going to be a great year.
All right, and we'll wrap Marcus up with Jeremy Birmingham. Jeremy.
Marcus, just to kind of play off that, and this may sound abrasive, but after all the struggles and the self-doubt and all those things over the last few years, why didn't you quit? Who was the person or the people that kind of kept you, dialed in, and how is that experience for you now helping you as a leader with those young guys that we already talked about?
Yeah. It's funny, sometimes I get kind of emotional when I think about it. But I gotta give it all to my parents, man. I was raised in a sports household. If you've seen any sports movies, I kind of had the crazy sports dad. You're doing this sport this spring, and always working out in the basement. And I think I can really attribute it to wrestling. I kind of think about this all the time, but I grew up wrestling as my first sport. And there's not a lot of glory in wrestling. I remember growing up and, all my friends played basketball. I went to school with Caleb Wesson, big hooper, I'm in the back, in the gym, just wrestling, man, just getting better, just having that fight in me. And I'm sorry, just having that fight in me, man. I've never been a quitter. And, just kind of having that mindset, that, whatever it is, I'm just going to fight through it. There's going to be better days. This will pass, that'll pass. Just keep going. And I swear I'm not crying. Just keep going, man. Just keep fighting. And you never know what'll happen, what'll end up on the other side. And I think God has just had a plan for me. If he didn't, I still wouldn't be here. I'm in my 5th year, hopefully going into my 2nd year start. And then 2-3 years ago, I was typing on my resume, seeing, what I wanted to do after football, So just having this opportunity, even if, it doesn't go as planned, just having this opportunity, man, to continue to do the sport that I love and to continue to have that wrestling and that fighting mindset has just taken me so far in life, and I hope it takes me farther. So, yeah, that's all I got.
Thanks, dude.
Awesome. Marcus, thank you very much for sharing that with us. Really, really appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Y'all have a good one.